Nature delivers what you really, really want. We're going to talk about how nature and the combination of going on retreats helps elevate your life and your business. But before we get into that, we're going to talk a little bit about, first of all, Happy Memorial Day. I want to thank you, all the people, and honor the people, friends and family who have really given that ultimate sacrifice of their life and service so that we can have our freedoms. And with that, I start with some gratitude today. Make sure you thank someone who's in the service, who's had family that's been in the service. My father served, and thanks and shout out to my dad and to some of my close friends who have really made it so it's possible for us to have the freedoms that we have. And so with that, how are we using all those freedoms? How are we spending our day? And there's nothing that elevates your life in a much bigger way than being out in nature, because everything is bigger than all the things happening in your life. When you are in nature, it really allows you to look at things in a much different way. And so part of what I want to talk about today is the practice of having a retreat and being able to incorporate them in your life, and how that affects how you live your spa life. So on this Monday, this Map It Monday, where we look about the journey of having, our spa life together. Spa life is where we have a lifestyle that accomplishment and harmony coexist together. And a best way to express that is in retreats. And so the practice of going on retreats, why do it? What is it about a retreat? I love going on them. I love facilitating them. If you are looking for a retreat where you want to step outside of your life, then I invite you to personal message me, put a comment here and just say that you'd like to have more information and you would like to have an invitation to one of my retreats. So let's talk more about why. So the first reason is that it solidifies your learning when you are actively engaged in nature. When you're outside and you can have that fresh air and you see the greenery and you're walking and you're experiencing things, you're seeing things in a different way. Anything that you are learning in that kind of environment, it just settles with you. It actually, it almost like goes into your tissues, and you're able to learn things in a different way. I mean, think about when you were in a classroom and you're there too long and it makes you feel tired and you're not really grasping everything that you're there to grasp. But when you go outside in nature and you learn something in nature and you connect with other people in nature, you don't forget that, because you're actually able to anchor the experience of being outside, seeing things clearly, smelling, using all of your senses on a much deeper level to really make that learning land for you. So going on retreats, getting outside, learning something, and having the combination of those things together, coupled with also, the people that you're spending time with, really makes a big difference. And then the second thing is that the experience actually becomes exponential when you're in nature. You retain more, as I was talking about, but it's also more lively. It's more fun to be out in nature. You just get to have a better experience. I mean, what were the things that you remember most about being in school? Going out to recess, right? Spending time with friends, being outside. It was really the things that really are more fun that we remember are when we are outside. So another thing about retreats is it allows you to expand yourself and your business, and that you're able to think outside the box. And it's really important to think outside the box. And when you put yourself out in nature and you have an experience, you remember it more. And it really allows you to be your best self. A friend of mine just spent 32 days in nature, and I asked him, what was one of the things that really impacted you? And one of the things that he said was that he wasn't able to think of anything negative. That even, certain things you'll think about work or friends or relationships and all these things, and, what maybe would have bothered you before, when you're that intensely in nature, you only think of positive things, because you look that there's so many things that are bigger than you, that the things that were really bogging you down in the grand scheme of things aren't that big a deal. And nature allows us to look outside of ourselves and to really look at what's possible. And that is one of the most important things about being on a retreat and being out in nature is to be able to see beyond yourself, get out of your normal routines, and to see what's possible, the bigger version of yourself, because nature pulls you into that bigger vision of yourself, which is an amazing experience. If you've not done that, please, get yourself out there and experience nature, and do it as in the form of a retreat, because your learning will be that much more exponential as well. So it's kind of like two wins that happen with that. And the last thing is that you want to choose the element that pulls you towards the experience that you actually want to have. So in nature, we have so many different options to do this. So if you want to have more strength in your life, climb a mountain. If you want to have more flow in your life, be around water. If you want to have more movement, be around wind, right? Even around rocks that are more solid. There's such reflections that we get to have in nature that really pull us into the direction that it is that we want to have. Now, I had a client of mine who was working all the time. He actually had a sailboat that he'd had for 2 years that he was going to use when he got retired. Well, here's the thing. When we said, why waiting for retirement? How can you have the elements of retirement in your life now? And so what we did is we said that on Fridays he was going to be retired and he would go on his boat. And him being out in nature and on the water, enjoying the things and not waiting for someday, by doing that, it actually helped not only expand himself and feel better about who he was, but he enjoyed his life more. And he had the most creative ideas on the water. So when he went back into his life, his business actually expanded, taking one day off more, where he had less days at work, but they were more focused, and he had a bigger vision about what he wanted to do. And that's what it can do for you in going on a retreat and being out in nature, is that when you come back into your life, you're not the same person. Your business expands, you as a person expand. You can really settle into, why are you here? What is the purpose and meaning that you're here for? Nature reveals those things for us. So I invite you to take advantage of that and to really step into that. So with that, I'd love to hear in your comments, what element of nature do you want to have more in your life today? Are you going to get more into water? Are you going to get into the mountains? Are you even just going to step outside and walk around your block? I want to hear how you are utilizing nature in your life to have you have the experience that you truly want to have, because nature delivers what you really want. So with that, and as always, live your spa life. Bye for now.